Where did the road go? Off-road edition. This is an off-the-road edition of Where Did the Road Go? Another one on balloons, another one with Saxon, but this time also with Taylor.
Hey.
And we recorded, 2 nights ago, Saxon?
Yeah, 2 nights ago, uh-huh.
And since we did that, there's an article here. Objects shot down aren't from China, likely benign. This came out February 14th. I don't know what today is. Today, we're recording this the 5th. So it came out yesterday. We're recording this on the 15th. The U.S. does not believe that the 3 unidentified objects shot down over North America last weekend were from China or posed a national security threat. National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby said on Tuesday, "We don't see anything that points right now to this being part of China's spy balloon program. It's unlikely the objects were used in intelligence collection against the United States of any kind. That's the indication now."
Interesting.
So that is interesting.
They're saying they were likely of commercial, commercial stuff, like companies own them.
Well, I had read that China took credit for them.
The first one.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one was theirs. They said it was a weather balloon. We said it was a spy balloon. And you kind of covered this right when we started last time, Saxon, and someone asked the same question, and it was the same thing I was thinking, like, why would you need a spy balloon when we have, these incredibly powerful satellites, and China has them just as well as we do? But you explained that's because we know when the satellites are going over.
Yeah, we know the schedule. I mean, they orbit on a schedule. And so that's why you use the balloons. It's a really low-tech way, and it's unpredictable. And it's some of the same stuff that we've been doing for a long time, where we'll have high-altitude balloons that loiter over a battlefield and things like that. But it's neat how this came about, because you had spy satellites, and then you got into things like the SR-71, where the benefit of the SR-71 is that it got to go over when you wanted it to go over versus when the satellite went over. And so you had these incredibly supersonic jets, the fastest jet that was ever produced in numbers. And then the other smart alternative to that is a balloon.
Yeah. Oh, and I had read that as part of that, because I was also curious, like, why would they use a balloon? There was some information about why it might be a better choice for some things when it comes to having like lower altitude to be able to pick up on certain, I don't know if it was radio frequencies or whatnot, but some things that a satellite may not be able to pick up on from the distance. But yeah, I don't know. The whole thing's weird.
But Taylor, that makes sense, and Soraya probably knows more about this than I do. But your different radio bands bounce differently, and if you're trying to monitor like communications between military units, like if they're practicing or whatever, those aren't going to bounce off the upper atmosphere. They're probably pretty localized.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. One thing I did hear suggested, and I'm trying to remember who this was. It was an aviation military buff on YouTube, and he's on Instagram as well. But he mentioned that it's possible the 2 benign things that were shot down were actually us testing our own defenses. Kind of seeing if we were prepared to intercept more things like the balloon. Yeah, like the Chinese one. Yeah, and sometimes this stuff is done in such a way where you don't know that you're participating in the test, but the other part of the DoD knows what they're doing, and they're just seeing if you're going to respond the right way. And
I think that's a lot of the UAP stuff as well.
Yeah, I do too.
Probably.
And some of those things, like the sphere that looks like it has the cube in it. Those have been around, documented at least since the 50s or 60s, and they were actually made to like scramble radar.
Oh, okay.
And give like false returns and things like that. So it'd be something that you would occupy airspace with and make people think their radar was buggy, because it's like, what are these blips showing up on here that don't make any sense?
Right.
And so they're less likely to be able to figure out what's an actual threat coming in versus what's just something, hanging out in the sky to distract them.
So the other thing we talked about, and a lot of people responded with, there was a plane or a train derailment, and yes, the timing of this balloon craze, and now 2 train derailments that you're not really hearing anything about. Yeah, see. It says a massive death plume spanning multiple counties in Ohio is raining down hydrochloric acid onto people because a bomb train carrying vinyl chloride was deliberately classified as non-hazardous to save Norfolk Southern money and regulatory inconveniences. So that was the first one. And then the other one, this is emergency crews respond to deadly train derailment near Houston. Officials are now responding to another deadly train derailment near Houston, Texas. Over 16 rail cars carrying hazardous materials crashed, prompting Union Pacific to monitor air quality at the site of the crash, according to the Splendora Police Department.
That's weird timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And so someone commented, this was on Reddit, said, between all the train wrecks and UFOs being shot down, I'm just going to stay in bed.
Yeah, I saw that thread that you posted, and I don't know if you saw it recently, but the main post is gone. It was taken down for being off topic.
Which one? The anti?
The most recent Reddit post in.
I just pulled it up.
Did you?
Yeah.
The comments are still there, but I wasn't able to see the main post.
Oh, yeah. I pulled up the post. No problem.
I wonder if they took it down and restored it or something.
Maybe.
No, I'm getting sorry. This post has been removed by the moderators. Unfortunately, your submission was removed for breaking the following rules. Rule number 3B: no off-topic posts.
Oh, it does say removed, but then the thing is still there. That's what I just read it from.
The picture? Or
the picture.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing that. Interesting. It may also be because I've got no script on.
Oh, okay. So because it's in the anti-work group. That's why, because that has. I mean, it's connected because this is partially because of the lack of regulations on trains and labor shortages and things like that. That's why it's connected to the anti-work group.
Yeah, okay. It of course, like all the lobbying that all of them tried to do to say, hey, we need some help.
Yeah,
this is getting a little threadbare in terms of safety, and then you realize that, like, not only is it threadbare in terms of safety, they were trying to save money to get around,
right?
It's like, of course that's
crazy.
And then suddenly you have a whole bunch of balloon sightings that's all anyone's talking about. I'm sure it's just a coincidence.
Yeah, of course.
No distraction here.
You and I talked about this in the other segment too, is that the word UAP is hardly used in any of this. It's UFO.
Yeah.
And that has a different effect on the public than UAP does.
People are actually using the word UFO in describing these balloons?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, it's on the headlines and stuff. And the major newspapers. It's silly.
That's so weird.
Yeah. I mean, it's intentional. I mean, I'm sure on some level it's clickbait, but it certainly drives the fervor,
Sure.
So,
yeah. I didn't run into that in any of the quick Google searching I was doing, but I guess I could see it.
Yeah. UAP did not catch on as a public term, but UFO did. And technically, if you don't know what it is and it's flying in the air, it's a UFO.
This is true.
That's fair.
And my friend John Shooter had messaged me, and I saw it after we did the show, and I was kind of thinking something along the same lines, but he said it perfectly. I'm so glad that the USA war machine can now not only detect swamp gas, but actually shoot it down. We can all breathe more easily.
That's perfect.
And I was like, I wish I saw that before we did the show.
Yeah,
but there it is. All right, so I just wanted to do that quick update that yes, they're now saying, maybe it wasn't China, and don't look at the train accidents.
Yeah, everybody look over here.
Exactly.
UFOs. Yeah, here you go.
Just don't look at the giant smoke plume in
Ohio,
where the train drove. Yeah, Ohio. Excuse me. I was like, the town was Palestine. Where am I at? Yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh, so I was talking to a roommate of mine about the train derailment situation and the chemicals and the environment. And they brought up, I had no idea that a town pretty close by here, it's not a train derailment, but something happened with their water supply. I guess it's like full of magnesium, and it's apparently turning orange and not safe to drink or something.
Oh.
But I was kind of like, because it's basically the town that my family lives in. And so I immediately texted my mom, and I'm like, is your guys' water orange? Like, what's happening? And she said it's actually technically the next town over.
Okay.
But
still
same area. Yeah.
Damn. All right. Well, let's, that seems like a good place to stop this off-road short edition of Where Did the Road Go? Thank you both.
Well, thank you, Shrek.
You have been listening to Where Did the Road Go? This show is made possible in part from our Patreons, and we thank you and everyone listening for helping us continue this exploration of the strange. You can always find everything Where Did the Road Go related at www.wheredidtheroadgo.com. And thank you so much for your support.